Okay, in this video I'm going to walk through polymorphing and using Mob Attack. So the first is for you, Scott, in regards to how I've set up polymorphing. And to do that, I am going to use my trusty paladin and show you how it works. So a paladin walks into the bar and sees a manticore. There's a joke somewhere there, but we'll leave it alone. And he decides, because he's down to 100 hit points, which is about half of what he has, he's going to polymorph. So how does that happen? So you've got two ways of doing that, and this is set up for you. So when you cast it, you can change yourself. So the first is if you open your character sheet. At the very top, you'll see this icon with this, looks like a blowing wind. You click on that, it's going to open up this dialog box, and you can choose what you want to become, a T-Rex, a giant eagle, or a Goralin, which is basically what you have seen, which is kind of like a giant ape. So for this one, I'm going to say you're going to turn into a Goralin. So what you do is you hover over the icon, and you're going to get this little swirly thing, and you just click it. I'm going to open up this dialog. I don't think you have to change anything, but you can run through it, and then you click Polymorph. And then, ta-da, you are now a Goralin. And you can now go attack the Manticore as that creature. A few things. So one, you've noticed that you now have 59 hit points. Based off of that, your AC is 17, which is the Goralins. You can see all of your stats have changed. If you go to your inventory, it now reflects your attacks. Your features reflects it. So you can see you get, one bite and 4 claws, aggressive, etc. So you are now effectively the Goralin. The only issue, well, there's two, but number one is the token HUD here reflects your primary character, so you won't be able to use it to conduct any attacks or things of that nature, so you'll have to run it off of the character sheet, unfortunately. The other is the hit points. So it does give you 59, but if you take 60, because the Manticore charges, does 60 hit points to you, knocks you, wow, that was loud, knocks you unconscious, and when you revert back, it won't carry over the extra, so we'll just have to keep track of what the extra and apply it when you get there. So how do you revert back? Well, that's easy. Open up your character sheet. Now to the left of that wind icon, you see the reverse icon, the double red triangles. Simply click that. And now it brings you back to your prior token with your hit points. So I had the 100 hit points, and all of your stats have now actively reflected. I'm going to have to check the AC because it looks like it may be carrying over your AC as well. So we'll look into that. But in effect, that's how you can polymorph. The other way, which is probably easier, is if you right click, you'll have that same transform icon here. You click it, select what you want, select polymorph, and off it goes. So now I'm the giant eagle, and again with the stats of the giant eagle, I think there's something wrong with AC, but we'll take a look at that with all the different stats, your inventory, your beak, and your talent attack. So that's all set, and then again, once you are ready to revert, open up the character sheet and click the double arrows, and off you go. You're now back to your primary token. So pretty straightforward. So that's how you polymorph, and if you have other things you want to add, let me know. We'll get them added into that pick list. So this next one is for our friend Wiz in his animated object spell. So Wiz, as you know, you like to take your darts or daggers, throw them on the ground, cast animate objects, so you get 10 tiny objects. So the way that you do that is twofold. Well, the first way is, let's get them created. So if you open your character sheet, you've got a companions tab. Click on the companions tab. This isn't quite set up as yours, but I'm going to create my 10 tiny animated objects. So this is the number that you're going to create. This one would create one small animated. So I'm going to just, again, click on the icon. You get this little swirly icon. Drag that to the playing canvas. You can close this if you need to. And I'm going to drop it right there. And there are my 10 little animated objects that are all now created. And now I'm ready to run and move them up and go attack the Manticore en masse. You can also multi-select and drag them over in bundles. But for now, let's say they all move over and they're all in attack range. So how do they attack? So there's two ways to do this now. Number one is just select one. So I can select any one of these. Target the manticore. So now that I've got one of these, my little animated objects selected, come over here to the left to this new mob attack tool. It's the dice. And you can select it, and it's going to open up this dialog. And it's going to pull in the attacks for the animated object, in this case a slam. And then up here is the number, right? So you see it says one tiny animated object. You can use these arrows to change the count. So I can go all the way up to 10. I could just keep going as many as I want. But for us, you could go up to 10. Use the down arrow to go down, obviously. And then, so once you move it to the number that are available, just click Mob Attack. And it automatically rolls it over here. So in the chat, you can see 8 of 10 slam attacks hit. You do 8d4 plus 32, so you did 55 points of damage to this manticore. So that's one way of doing this. And obviously, as these reduce in number, right? So if you only have 7 of them, when you do the mob attack, you would just pick 7. All right? Let's say there's 6 of them. So you do the mob attack. You do. Let's bring this guy back to life. You did a lot of damage. You hit him 6 more times. The 6 of 6 it's hit, and then you do the damage. The other way of doing a mob attack is if you select them all. So the way I did that is on the canvas, left click, and hold down the left button on your mouse so you get this square you can drag and size. And now I've selected all 10 of them. And again, if I now go to my mob attack tool, the dice on the left, see I've got the 10 tiny animated objects. It's already pre-selected. Then the only thing you got to do is hit mob attack. 9 of 10 hit, and you do 59 points of damage. So this should help speed up combat dramatically. So if there's only 4, you could select the 4, click the mob attack tool. Now notice it says 4, mob attack, and 3 or 4 hit, and you do 22 points of damage. So that's how we're going to speed up combat using the mob attack tool with your animated object spell. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I'll send this along shortly. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to you soon.